Absolutely confirmed. Tottenham are closing in on Liverpool star Andy Robertson. Spurs land a serial winner for a shocking bargain. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Tottenham are on the brink of completing one of the most eye-catching moves of the January window. David Ornstein has now verified that Spurs are just details away from landing Liverpool's serial winner, Andrew Robertson, with personal terms already fully agreed between the player and the North London club. Fabrizio Romano has also backed the story, revealing that Tottenham have already submitted an official proposal for the Scottish star. Even more astonishing, the Times report that Spurs are offering just £3 million to secure a player who has dominated English football for nearly a decade. For a footballer of Robertson's pedigree, that fee borders on robbery. Liverpool, aware that Robertson's contract expires in the summer, are understood to be unwilling to stand in his way. After years of relentless service, trophies and leadership, the Anfield hierarchy are prepared to let him leave now rather than lose him for nothing in a few months' time. This is effectively their final chance to cash in. Robertson, meanwhile, is said to be completely open to the switch. A World Cup year is looming, and regular football is non-negotiable. His role at Liverpool has diminished, minutes have become unpredictable, and patience has worn thin. Tottenham are offering something Liverpool currently cannot: a guaranteed central role and a chance to lead a rebuilding side desperate for authority and edge. Thomas Frank wants warriors in his dressing room. Players with scars, medals and personality. That is exactly why Robertson is top of the list. A proven winner. A former captain. A footballer built on intensity, aggression and relentless drive. Spurs believe his arrival would instantly lift standards across the squad. And let's be brutally honest. Tottenham's left side is a mess. Ben Davies is injured. Sousa is raw and untested. Destiny Udogi's fitness continues to raise doubts. This is not the foundation of a serious Premier League push. Robertson walks straight into the starting 11 and becomes first choice from day one. The knock-on effect is huge. Jed Spence can finally shift to the right and compete directly with Pedro Porro, creating real competition instead of paper depth. Suddenly Spurs look structured instead of patched together. For £3 million, Tottenham would be securing leadership, experience, mentality and Premier League certainty. In a market where average players go for £30 million, this deal is being viewed internally as an outrageous bargain. In North London, Robertson's profile as a winner is being praised relentlessly. This is the type of signing that sends a message to the dressing room. Standards are rising, excuses are finished. Everything now points to an imminent conclusion. Talks are advanced, agreements are in place, Liverpool are cooperative, the player is ready. This transfer is so close that by the time you are watching this video, Andrew Robertson could already be a Tottenham player. Spurs are preparing a bold January strike for Liverpool midfielder Curtis Jones, with sources indicating that Spurs are ready to step up their pursuit with an offer in the region of £30 million. Jones has enjoyed a strong campaign under Arne Slot, clocking up 28 appearances in all competitions and establishing himself as a trusted option in Liverpool's rotation. Yet despite his growing importance, his contract situation has raised eyebrows across the Premier League. Signed to a deal that runs until 2027, Jones is still not among Liverpool's highest earners, leaving the door ajar for rival clubs to test Anfield's resolve. Tottenham see a clear opportunity. With their midfield stretched thin by injuries and form issues, Spurs are desperate for a player who can carry the ball, dictate tempo, and inject creativity into the final third. Curtis Jones ticks every box: technically gifted, tactically intelligent, and already proven at the highest level of English football. Reports suggest Spurs are prepared to table an opening bid of £30 million, believing Liverpool could be tempted into negotiations rather than risk the player entering the final phase of his contract in the coming seasons. Tottenham's recruitment team are convinced that Jones would thrive with guaranteed minutes in North London, something he cannot always rely on at Anfield with competition fierce in every position. Insiders claim Tottenham's interest has intensified even after the arrival of Conor Gallagher, underlining how serious the club are about rebuilding the engine room. The message is clear: this squad still lacks control and identity in midfield, and Jones is viewed as a long-term solution rather than a short-term patch. For Liverpool, the situation is delicate. Slot values Jones, but financial realities and squad balance could force difficult decisions. Spurs believe timing is everything, and that this window presents a rare chance to prize away a Premier League-ready midfielder without paying an inflated superstar fee. Tottenham's hierarchy are said to be pushing hard behind the scenes, convinced that landing Jones would send a signal of intent to supporters and rivals alike. A £30 million move for a player entering his prime years would be seen as smart business in a market where proven English talent usually costs far more. If negotiations accelerate, this could become one of the most explosive intra-Premier League transfers of the window. Tottenham are quietly preparing for life after Thomas Frank, and a new name has exploded onto their managerial radar: Francesco Farioli. According to sources close to the situation, Spurs have formally added the Porto boss to their shortlist as doubts continue to swirl around Frank's long-term future in North London. At just 36 years old, Farioli is rapidly becoming one of the most talked-about coaches in European football. His work at Porto has been nothing short of extraordinary. The Italian has transformed the Portuguese giants into a ruthless, high-intensity machine built on aggressive pressing, fearless attacking patterns, and tactical discipline. His numbers are eye-watering: 17 wins and 1 draw from 18 league matches, delivering a staggering 86% win ratio that has sent shockwaves through the continent. Inside Tottenham's hierarchy, there is growing concern that the current project under Frank has stalled. Performances have lacked consistency, and patience among supporters is wearing thin. Spurs want a manager who can modernise their identity, dominate possession, and bring energy back to the squad. This is not the first time Tottenham have looked at him. Farioli was already on their radar before Frank's appointment last summer, but now his profile has exploded. What he has achieved at the Estadio do Dragão has forced Spurs to reconsider him as a leading option rather than a speculative gamble. However, Tottenham are not alone in this chase. The Premier League queue is forming fast. Bournemouth are closely monitoring Farioli as a potential successor should Andoni Iraola depart, with the Cherries believing his style would fit perfectly with their attacking philosophy. Crystal Palace are also keeping tabs on the situation, uncertain about Oliver Glasner's future and wary of being left behind in the managerial market. Spurs board are under pressure to act decisively, especially if results under Frank fail to improve in the coming months. What makes Farioli so appealing is not just his results, but his footballing vision. His Porto side plays with courage, intensity, and structure, 3 things Tottenham fans feel have been missing. He represents a break from conservative appointments and a shift towards a progressive, European-minded project. The message from inside the club is clear: contingency plans are being drawn up. Tottenham do not want to be caught unprepared if Frank's tenure collapses under mounting scrutiny. Farioli is no longer a distant name on a list, he is now a genuine contender. With rivals circling and pressure building in North London, this managerial story is moving fast. That wraps up today's update. If you like this video and want to keep up with all the latest Tottenham news, be sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss any updates. Remember to leave a like and share this video with fellow Spurs supporters. Together we can continue growing the Tottenham News Today community. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, come on you Spurs!